Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 8th and final character in my lesser-known but awesome Heroes Black History mini marathon. And I saved the best for last, guys. I will be talking about not only one of my favorite black superheroes in the Marvel Universe, but one of my favorite Marvel characters, period. And it is actually, ironically, according to his biography, he is the first ever black superhero in American mainstream comics, even before Luke Cage and many others. And he was created by the legendary tag team of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Yes, I introduce you guys to T'Challa, the King of Wakanda, the Black Panther. So let's get into it. Now, there have been many who have actually taken the mantle of Black Panther. T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, if I remember correctly, who was T'Challa's grandfather, and many of the royal family of Wakanda's ancestors. And recently, T'Challa's sister had actually taken up the mantle of Black Panther later on, and T'Challa now has become the most dangerous man on Earth, where he took over Hell's Kitchen and whatnot, what have you. But we're going to dive into the comic book origins of T'Challa. Now, he's been part of the Fantastic Four. He's been actually a mainstream member of the Avengers. He's been part of the Defenders and what's been called the Fantastic Four. He's also married to Storm. And T'Challa, when he was a young boy, his father was murdered right in front of him by Ulysses Claw, the ultrasound supervillain just known simply as Claw. And right before his father died, he had actually made a controversial decision that the Wakandan elders did not appreciate, which is he sent his son to America to get a higher education. And they used some of their rare Wakandan ore, vibranium, to basically pay for his funds and get the best schooling possible. And T'Challa is no slouch, guys. He has a genius level intellect. His intellect is near that of Reed Richards, but not directly on the level. Like, he's been able to converse with Hank Pym. He's been able to converse with Reed Richards. He is pretty much a man of science. T'Challa also, all of his acute abilities is that he is an excellent tracker. His entire suit is made of like lightweight vibranium, which can partly stop bullets, but not completely. And what's also interesting to note for those of you who have never heard of Black Panther, basically the way that you become a Black Panther, or the Black Panther, I should say, is that you have to fight 5 of Wakanda's best warriors in a battle royale, in like a UFC, like MMA style fight. And also, on top of that, you have to go on a journey throughout all of Africa to find a heart-shaped herb, and then that herb must be specially prepared. And this herb, when actually made into an elixir, you drink it, and then basically you're given, supposedly the strength of the panther, and that you have slightly above like peak level strength, agility. Your senses are more acute, more sharp. You're able to see a lot more clearly in the dark than a regular person can. Basically, in other words, T'Challa pretty much is I'm going to laugh when I say this, but he's like the black version of Captain America on steroids. Like, and also interesting to note, speaking of Captain America, apparently back during World War II, Cap actually landed in Wakanda, and he actually fought T'Chaka, T'Challa's father, or his grandfather. And so basically Steve Rogers got beat by Black Panther, which in the Marvel Universe was unheard of because he's one of the best hand-to-hand combatists. But T'Challa has actually been able to go toe-to-toe and even beaten Steve Rogers in battle. So that's a very impressive feat for a character like T'Challa, to be able to take on Cap and go toe-to-toe and be able to beat him. But what I find also very interesting is that when he started out and debuted, guys, he actually debuted in the Fantastic Four. His first appearance actually in the Marvel Universe was in Fantastic Four number, give me a second, Fantastic Four number 52 in July of 1996. Or 1996. I'm sorry, guys. 1966. I'm getting ahead of myself. But he basically fights and beats all the Fantastic Four, and he does this to try to prove himself that he's ready to take on Ulysses Klaue. However, the Fantastic Four end up helping him beat Klaue. And it's also when he joins the Avengers to kind of, go on a spiritual journey of his own to find himself, that T'Challa would become a mainstay not only in the Avengers but in Marvel history, and he would gain many different friends. He would actually at least have a very mutual respecting relationship with Namor the Submariner, being that, Namor is the king of Atlantis and he's the king of Wakanda. And he would also make friends with Danny Rand and Luke Cage. Yes, Power Man and Iron Fist. So T'Challa is a very well-respected character in the Marvel Universe. Despite being of royal blood, he is a man who cares very much about his people and very much about his friends. And I greatly admire that he's a very humble king, that he uses his power very wisely. And the elders did not agree with him, but he opened Wakanda's borders to people like Captain America and Iron Man, and people that he's grown to trust. And he especially trusts Steve Rogers. Hell, he's actually given Cap some vibranium and Wakandan technology. So there's a very deep mutual respect between, T'Challa and Cap. And there's many different other aspects to T'Challa, but I think I'm gonna let you guys actually read those for yourself. But that is it, guys. This is my final lesser known but awesome heroes Black History mini marathon. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys actually enjoyed it. Leave not only the comment box, but send me like, a personal message, any of that. Did you actually like this marathon? Do you want to see me do something like this next February? Or anything similar to this? Let me know, guys. Give me feedback, because I actually enjoy doing this. So, take care. Yet again, I have another post thoughts video, guys. Sorry. I know that I'm trying not to make this a frequent habit, but at the same time, sometimes it can't be helped because stuff like this comes up. But anyway, I forgot to mention that there have been other incarnations. One that was like a gun-toting mercenary or something. There was another one whose name I forget. But there have been other people who have taken the mantle of Black Panther aside from T'Challa and his sister. Also, T'Challa is considered a master strategist because he's able to study his opponents, like read everything about them. That's why he's been able to beat Cap and Abomination and Doctor Doom and other characters. And yeah, that's actually about it. Sorry.